Hi, this is Joann. I'm here today with the Executive Director of the Gathering Place here in Brattleboro. Her name is Heather Robertson, and she is going to tell us a little bit about what the Gathering Place is, what they do, why they do it, how they do it, where they do it, and all kinds of other information, which is really important to all of us here in the greater Brattleboro area, especially if we're caregivers of a loved one or a friend or a neighbor who has some form of cognizant infirmity or dementia or Alzheimer's or just cognitive development. So let's get started while we have time to talk. So Heather, what would you like to say to the public as you introduce the Gathering Place?
Sure. So the Gathering Place is the adult day program for Windham County. So we serve all of Windham County up to Westminster and then south to the Massachusetts border, basically, and over towards the Whitingham, Jacksonville, Reedsboro area. So we have quite a big span.
That's a big area.
It is a big area. Yeah. So we are part of the Home and Community-Based Service Provider Network here in Vermont, and those services are designed to allow people to remain in their homes as long as they can. So they can choose to receive care in the community with the intention of deferring or delaying long-term care placement. Ultimately, most people will tell you that they want to age in their home.
That's right. Yes. Who has ever grown up not being able to wait for the day they could enter a nursing home facility?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So within the state of Vermont, there are a number of service providers that help support those services. Mm-hmm. So we are one. We are a non-residential program, which means we provide services during the day. We're open 9 hours a day, 7:45 to 4:45 Monday through Friday, and we provide a variety of socialization opportunities, enrichment opportunities, exercise, meals, just a wide variety of things. And another thing that we do is we serve as a respite provider for a lot of home caregivers.
Boy, is that important.
Yes.
I have a disclaimer, I do work for Senior Solutions and I'm the volunteer manager. And the amount of requests we have for people to get somebody to come in and watch the person they're caring for. Yep. They have no time for themselves. These adult day facility services they're irreplaceable. And they really do provide a lifeline to a lot of caregivers.
We do have a number of particularly, so to back up, we actually care for adults of all ages. So it is not just older adults. We also care for pretty much any adult 18 plus who has a need for our services. So we have folks that have disabilities. We have people who are older adults, certainly. Cognitive decline, dementia and Alzheimer's, we take care of folks like that, developmental disabilities. And then we also have a number of folks who are living independently in the community who just benefit from having a structure to their day and having some place to go and friends to see and know that they're going to get a hot noon meal. So we serve a little bit of everybody. Right now, our youngest participant is 23.
Okay.
And our oldest participant is 90.
Oh my gosh, what a range.
Yeah.
We'll talk about intergenerational activities.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I've seen a lot more of, I've been with the organization since 2016 and have seen a lot more over the last few years of these sandwich generation caregivers.
Oh, yeah.
And I talk with the board quite a bit about that, but also with the staff, where we have folks who are now caring for a parent and may still have children in the home, are running kids to soccer practice and trying to pick up from school, and it could be a real stress. So this service provides them some time and some space while still often trying to honor their loved one's wishes to stay in the home, in the family unit.
Yeah, they feel safer at home.
Yes, they do.
And usually when people that have cognitive issues have change, it causes anxiety.
Yes.
So this is a wonderful service that we just can't get enough of. And I wanted to ask you very briefly, I'll ask you later, but right now, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the facility.
Okay.
I'll tell you, my experience being in the building, I can't wait to sign up. It's so open and airy and cheerful. The staff is so kind.
Yes.
It's a wonderful environment. But you've done a lot of good things in the last couple of years.
We have. It is a beautiful building. It is originally an 1860s, 1870s Victorian that has been chopped up and rearranged multiple times throughout the years. It was a social club at one point. Since we've been in the building, it has gone through a few renovations, some intentional, others due to just to some unexpected damage. But this in the last couple of years, we have been afforded some really wonderful opportunities during some really trying times.
Oh, good.
So we were, our services were suspended during the pandemic. We were very well supported, through that time, and it allowed us to really make some upgrades and improvements to the building that really safeguard the long-term viability. We had a one-time grant opportunity that started last fall. It was a grant opportunity for, again, home and community-based service providers in the state of Vermont, funded by American Rescue Plan funds.
Okay.
And as a result of that, we were able to do a number of things. We were able to replace our roof. We replaced over 40 windows, which has made...
Wait, say that again.
Yeah. What?
You replaced how many windows?
Over 40 windows.
Okay, everybody out there who have done replacement windows, do a little quick calculation.
And many of them were original windows or had been updated sometime in the 90s, early 2000s. So the energy efficiency piece of that has been, it will be a bit before we see the real value of that, but it definitely, you can tell. And people will say to me, wow, there's not a draft coming through this window anymore.
Like, I don't need 3 sweaters.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been, some really big, we're able to get some of our mechanical components of our elevator upgraded. So we just had a really tremendous opportunity. And then probably the thing that I am most excited about, that everyone is sick of hearing me talk about, but our entryway, of course, we have a lot of people who come in with rollators and wheelchairs, or have difficulty opening heavy doors. It was a challenge sometimes to get those folks in the doors. They were traditional, commercial sized doors. Yeah. So we were able to, as a result of not only this funding we received, but also some very generous donations from some sponsors, some local organizations who helped close some of that funding gap for us. But at any rate, we have widened. So our doorways are now 42 inches wide.
Yeah, I can fit through.
Yeah. They are full glass. They have the automatic openers. It feels like we've sort of we've walked into the 21st century. But it's wonderful when people are bringing their loved ones in and they're pushing wheelchairs or they're trying to maneuver rollators.
They don't have to let go of the loved one to get the door open.
We can just let them in, and it really has made a significant difference with improving access to the building, and that just contributes to participant experience, and it's more welcoming and more open, and it's a lot more light. It's just been a wonderful addition.
And I have to say, when you come in a building that feels like it's accommodating your needs, you feel better cared for. Yeah. Psychologically, it must have a great impact on the people who attend.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, terrific. And what about what kind of programming do you do? Like, you have, I know upstairs you have the foosball table and all kinds of things.
Yes, we do.
You can see where my mind goes.
Yeah, exactly. We do all kinds of things, which is an understatement. So we have sort of a general flow to our day. There are a few things that we always do, and one of the things that we offer is, we do a continental breakfast in the morning for folks. We have a hot noon meal.
Nice.
And then we also do an afternoon snack. So those kind of anchor our days. We usually have an exercise activity of some kind in the morning, and then some other activities that are going on as well. And that could be word games, it could be puzzles, it could be they do crossword puzzles. They were doing all kinds of arts and craft work. We have some music. We have musicians come, some of them from quite a ways. So we have musical groups that come all the time. But then within all of that, people do have the choice to be doing what they want to do. And if they don't want to listen to, this particular kind of music, then there's other options for them to do. So there's always an opportunity for independent activity, for maybe just having a quiet little rest off to the side. We have our comfy chairs. And then, and we do have 2 full floors that we can utilize for activities, all kinds of activities.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you're right. You have enough opportunities for people to do what suits them. It's not like they come in and you go, okay, here's what you're doing today.
Right.
No, you have a structure within which you provide the opportunity for people to take part in what they enjoy.
Yes, and that is the goal.
That is
the goal.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a little challenging, so you have to be flexible, but I think that the staff is up to it.
You do have to be flexible, and it can be challenging. Again, we're serving, and this can be in the same day. We can have somebody who is 23 and someone who is 90, and those 2 people do not necessarily want to do the same thing.
No.
We do have, as you mentioned, a pool table on the 2nd floor, and air hockey, which some of our younger folks or gentlemen like to go up and do. We have a sewing group that also takes place on the 2nd floor, which is great. A lot of people did used to sew or like to sew and maybe can't do it at home anymore. But our staff, one staff member in particular is excellent, but they're very good about meeting people where they are and helping them be able to do things that are familiar to them, but in a way that meets their current needs.
I think that's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, I have to smile just thinking about it. One important thing I wanted to make sure we cover before we get too far along is, how do people pay for it?
Well, predominantly, so our services are, approximately 70% of our services are participants who attend our center have some form of Medicaid. Our services are predominantly paid for by Medicaid.
Okay.
Medicare does not cover the cost of adult day at this time. There's been a lot of attempts over the years to try to get that through with Medicare, but it has not happened as of yet. We have folks that do private pay. Some long-term care insurance policies that some folks have will cover adult day in the same way that they will cover a home care, that kind of thing, depending on the policy.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, there are some smaller respite grants that are available through Senior Solutions, with Family Caregiver and the Dementia Respite Grant. So folks do utilize those, and then we do offer, it is limited, but we do offer a sliding fee program as well. So there's a large number of people who fall kind of in the middle, who don't qualify for, may not be low enough income or resources to qualify for traditional Medicaid or long-term care Medicaid, but also aren't really in a place to be able to pay the full hourly fee. So we, with support of the board of directors, have made the decision to, have a sliding fee that would pay up to 50% of the published rate, depending on someone's income and resources.
That's a big help.
Yes. Yeah.
And if anybody wanted to contribute to that fund, how would they do that?
Well, generally, it would be a general donation. They can do that on our website.
Okay.
We do have a donation form on the website, or they can contact the office. Any of those things.
And I'm sure we'll have on the screen during the viewing period your phone number and the website of the Gathering Place so people can get in touch with you. Oh, that reminds me. People are allowed to call and arrange for a tour.
They can absolutely call. If they call, they will most likely talk to one of our wonderful receptionists, either Annie or Phoebe, who would be happy to take their information, ask probably a little bit more about what they're looking for in terms of services, who their loved one is, or if it's for yourself. Just tell us a little bit more about you, and they will take their information, and someone will get back to you to arrange a tour. We are on a little bit of a wait list right now, but we're getting to people as quickly as we can. So the sooner we have somebody's information, the sooner we can get them.
I think you got held up a little bit because of all the construction.
Oh gosh, yes, we did.
So you're still playing a little catch up.
Yes, yes.
It was well worth it though, right?
Not insignificant to replace 40 windows in an 1860s Victorian while trying to still conduct programming for 25 or 30 people a day.
That's just an example of how flexible they are at the Gathering Place.
We have to be.
But it's all fixed up now, and when you come in, you can enjoy the results of all that work.
Yep.
And speaking of arts and crafts and activities, I think there's an event shaping up for this spring featuring some of the artwork of some of the people that have been visiting and taking part in the programs, as well as a wine tasting.
We are. So we are planning in the planning stages of an event for early April. I think we're targeting April 5th at this time. The date is pretty well locked in. But we have a ticketed event planned at $35 a person that will include a wine tasting that is being conducted by Wyndham Wines right here in town. And they're going to come and and do a wine tasting with us, and
we'll have hors d'oeuvres.
And hors d'oeuvres, yes. We'll have some hors d'oeuvres.
So people won't go home hungry.
No. We'll have some hors d'oeuvres, and then music, yes.
Little music,
I think. And then throughout the facility, it will be available for tours for folks to go in and have a look around. But throughout the building, we will have installations and pieces of participant artwork. They really, and again, this is kudos to the staff who just do some really creative things. So
I can't wait to see it all.
I'm really excited, and they are excited about this project. So they are making more things.
Oh boy!
And they're all. It's a really nice demonstration of, again, the diversity in the group and the pieces that they create. Even if they're making the same thing, how different they all can be. You know, so there will be. There will be paintings, and we have some. We did some textile work, and we did some work with natural materials, so bark and sticks, and art that they had done with that. So we're still working out how it's all going to be kind of laid out, but it'll be a nice display.
Great. I think it's exciting. I can't wait to see the galleries. And I'm wondering, is there an opportunity for people to perhaps purchase anything?
I think that we're going to have, we're selecting...
I know it's not set in stone yet, but...
So we're selecting some pieces that will be available as sort of note cards for folks to be available for purchase, just blank cards that folk can be used for a number of different occasions.
Nice.
And I believe there's going to be a few pieces, this is pending, and I don't have information, but I think we're going to have a few pieces that will be available for auction as well.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Some larger pieces that folks will be working on.
Oh, what fun. Not only is it fun, you're helping a good cause, you're helping a wonderful organization, but when you're with the artist and somebody actually is bidding to buy your work, think about the self-esteem level, how it shoots up. And that alone is definitely worth coming to the event. So I'm telling you out there, I'm looking for everybody out there to be at the event. And if you're not there, I'm going to know why. Is there anything else you'd like to add about Gathering Place or what's going on?
The only thing I would add is about, so one thing that folks often identify as a barrier to coming to programs like the Gathering Place is transportation. Either they depend on a caregiver, or they depend on, they don't drive anymore, their loved one can't drive, whatever the case might be. So one of the things that we do like to highlight is that we do partner, we are contracted with the mover, who provides Medicaid transportation, but also provides transportation for older adults and disabled adults, and they will provide transportation within Windham County to the Gathering Place on a daily basis.
Great.
They will also help arrange, we also can help folks arrange, so we can help folks arrange that to and from the center. We also can help arrange transportation to and from medical appointments on days that they're attending. So if you had an appointment at the doctor, or you had to go get lab work done, and it was on one of your days, you can come in the morning and have your breakfast and do your exercises, and then at 11 o'clock the mover will come get you, take you to the lab, bring you back, and you can finish your day.
So you don't have to cancel going to adult day because you have an appointment.
You don't. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That is good.
So that is one thing that we do, because we do hear that quite a bit.
Sure.
So,
and usually when you're serving a certain community of people who tend to have a lot of doctor appointments and things like that, it's a real hardship for them.
Yep.
So that you can accommodate it, not only accommodate that need, but facilitate getting to and from the appointments. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I guess I don't have any more questions, but you might have some closing thoughts that you'd like to leave the public with. Just, come to the event in April, support the Gathering Place, tell your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, if they are the caregiver of somebody who needs to have some eyes on them all day. They don't have to give up their job. They don't have to give up seeing their friends. They can have their own doctor and dental appointments. They can come to the Gathering Place. And how many days a week is it operational?
We're open 5 days a week. And the other thing I would add to that is that there really is no picture of what someone who goes to adult day looks like.
No, it's everybody.
We have a little bit of everybody, and like I said, we have folks that are receiving those respite and caregiver services, but we also have folks, as I mentioned, who are still living independently in the community, who like to come and I forgot to mention bingo. We play bingo.
What?
Everybody loves bingo.
Everybody likes. Okay.
Everybody loves bingo.
You better get ready for that door to be opening and closing, because there'll be a lot of people coming for bingo. When do you do bingo?
It's a few times. I think it's a few times. At least once a week, but it moves around a little bit, because we have a lot of other groups that we work with as well. In addition to the musicians, we have programs with the Brattleboro Food Co-op. They come and do a cooking group. I think every other month. And Brattleboro Art Museum comes and does a project every other month. We have a partnership with NECA that we are trying to get restarted. They do a movement, they call it the Silver Circus, but it's a movement program that they do with our folks.
Right. Not necessarily trapeze.
No, not trapeze, but they do a lot with movement and balance in very appropriate ways. Again, meeting people where they are in ways that makes them feel good, and it's fun. It's definitely fun. So there's quite a bit in our activities. Our program manager has a big job trying to fit all of those things in on a monthly basis.
It sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm telling you right now, when people come to a place like the Gathering Place, having fun is great.
Yes.
It's good for your health, it's good for your mental outlook, it's good for everybody.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with having a good time.
No, there's nothing wrong with having a good time. We do provide, in addition to the fun, but we also do have nursing services on site, is another piece of what we do. So in addition to the activities and the socialization, we also do some health oversight with folks. We coordinate pretty closely with primary care physicians. If they have concerns, they can, it would not be unusual for a doctor to call and say, hey, Mr. Jones is, we're a little worried about his blood pressure. Do you mind doing weekly pressures on him? So we'll do that and communicate back to the doctor and vice versa. So there is a level of, healthcare as well as the social and, socialization.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. Fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you agreed to come on BCTV.
Thank you, Joann.
I mean, if people don't know about the Gathering Place, they're really missing out. If you don't need it now, you never know. Don't wait until you can't handle it.
That's right.
Plan ahead and support these organizations that are so important to all of us, because we never know where we're going to be next week or next year.
That's right.
Oh, Heather, it's been amazing.
Thank you, Joann.
I'm so excited that you came on and so happy to hear about all the wonderful programming and things you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for listening. And we'll be back another time with some more good information for you. Bye for now.